Good afternoon. Welcome to Presidential Election Watch. Today we're focusing on the results of the 2024 elections. It's November the 18th, Monday, 2024. I'm Merrick F. Masters, a professor of business emeritus, commentator, and podcaster. You can find me at my email address or my YouTube channel. The episode today, focusing on results, will cover the presidential election results, congressional results, gubernatorial results, state legislature results, and a little bit on whether this is a landslide from historical perspective. The election results across these various areas are not finalized. There are still votes to be counted in several of the races, including the presidential race and some House and Senate races, and therefore you must view these as short of the final official totals. At this point in time, Trump has 312 electoral votes. He won each of the 7 battleground states, including Michigan and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. Harris has 226 electoral votes. This is a clear electoral victory. Trump exceeded his electoral total in 2016, which was 306. In terms of popular vote, Trump has about 50% of the total popular vote at 76.4 plus million votes, which exceeds his total popular vote for 2020. And Harris has 73.7 plus million votes, or a little bit over 48% of the total votes. And this is under Biden's 81 million votes, which he received in 2020. Trump won the popular vote at this point in time. Again, all votes are not yet counted in the presidential race. He performed better, as I indicated, in 2020 and also in 2016 on this dimension, but it's still, in my judgment at least, a narrow margin of victory. The congressional House and Senate party composition. Final results are not available for several outstanding races, but at this point in time, based on certain reports that are available, and there are conflicting reports in terms of the totals, but pre-election, we went into the election with House Republicans having 220 members, Democrats 212, in the Senate, Republicans had 49 members, and the Democrats had 51. Post-election, according to some reports, House Republicans now have gained or won 220 of those seats. Democrats have won 213, but there's still some outstanding. Republicans have won 52 or 53 states, with Pennsylvania a toss-up now because there will be a recount, although some reports have indicated that McCormick, the Republican, has won that state and have recorded as such. Congress remains, regardless, almost evenly split. The Republican margins are very small. Trump does not have a working majority in either house unless party discipline prevails uniformly, and this is going to be very difficult to achieve. It's going to make it very difficult for him to get his agenda through on controversial issues if he has to get legislative approval, unless there is overwhelming support among Republicans and a handful of Democrats in both bodies to carry his agenda through. Republicans, moreover, will face major challenge in replacing House members. There have been 3 of them tapped so far for presidential appointments to maintain their narrow margins. These House members will have to be replaced through an election, and it's possible that the Republicans lose those seats in these special elections. The gubernatorial situation basically remains status quo in terms of total number of Republican governors and total number of Democratic governors. As you can see in these pre-election 2024 and post-election comparisons. 27 Republicans are after the election governors, same as was before the election day, and Democrats hold 23 of the 50 state seats. In terms of composition of the state legislatures, House Republicans and House Democrats, Senate Republicans and Senate Democrats, it remains basically the same. House Republicans have a significant majority in both bodies, but the balance hasn't changed across the parties in this particular election. Now, I know there's a lot of commentary in the media that this was a landslide victory for Trump. I'll be honest with you, while it is an important victory and historic in many respects, it is not a landslide victory by any stretch of the imagination if you look at historical comparisons. I think landslide victories are more along the lines of what Lyndon Johnson achieved in 1964, what Richard Nixon achieved in 1972, of what Ronald Reagan won in 1980 and in 1984. This was a close election both in terms of electoral votes and in terms of popular vote. That is important, I think, for us to realize, because if the Republicans are serious about trying to capitalize on these victories and want to realign the parties to give it a solid working majority going forward, it needs to build on this base, not to treat it as a landslide that they don't need to do anything to enhance or embellish. They've really got to work hard to deliver on their policy promises and build the grassroots on a continual basis throughout the years in between elections and during the elections. So this is a job that is yet incomplete. It's a work in progress. And if there's going to be a genuine realignment of parties, as some suggest, with the Republicans being more of a working class party, there's a lot of work that needs to be done at the grassroots level to cement this change. A little bit about myself. I hope you enjoyed this episode and will continue to watch future ones. The next episode, Presidential Election Watch, the second to last in this year's series, will be on money and politics, and the final one will focus on the Electoral College, what to expect between now and January 6th, when the Congress certifies the votes of the electors in the presidential election. Thank you and have a good day.